Level 1, the tiro. You are 17 outside Sirmium in the year 235, and your family owns no land worth naming. In your palm sits one cracked bronze coin, saved by your father from a better harvest. He tells you to keep it until you can buy soil. Your dream is simple. Serve 25 years, survive, collect the discharge reward, buy a vineyard near the river, and come home important. A local clerk has written your recommendation. Without that letter, your strong back means nothing. You swear the sacramentum, and the oath changes everything. Yesterday, a magistrate could not beat you without law. Today, an officer can flog you for disobedience. Your first shield feels wider than a door. You march until the skin leaves your heels. Then you dig, building a ditch, a rampart, a road, and another ditch. The instructors use wooden swords heavier than real ones because they want battle to feel easier than practice. It does not. During formation drill, you turn too slowly. Your shield opens a gap. The centurion strikes its rim with his vine staff, and the blow knocks you into the mud. Everyone laughs because laughing is safer than helping. You joined to become a soldier, so Rome begins to proving you are replaceable. Level 2, the legionary. You earn the title after training, legionary, one shield, one place in a machine. Your world becomes 8 men sharing one room. Your conturbenium eats together, sleeps together, carries one leather tent, and develops 8 different opinions about onions. One man snores, another steals socks, and one can repair anything except his own gambling habit. You learn the real enemy is often fever. A spear gives a story, while bad water gives a trench behind the hospital. By your 3rd winter, 2 tent mates are dead. You also meet Daria, a potter's daughter near the fortress. Soldiers can now legally marry, but still orders move you. Campaigns still erase seasons. Your son is born while you were repairing a bridge 60 miles away. Then raiders cross the frozen river. The horn sounds before dawn. You stand shoulder to shoulder, Keith shaking from cold, not courage. Your training takes over. Shield forward, spear level, step together. A young recruit beside you breaks formation, so you drag him back by his harness. The line holds, and your centurion notices. So does his optio. Promotion begins as survival witnessed by the correct man. You wanted money and land. Now you want someone to remember your name. Level 3, the tesserarius. You can read orders, count rations, and stay awake, which makes you unusual enough to promote. You become tesserarius, keeper of the watchword. Each evening, headquarters gives you the password on a small wax tablet. You pass it to the sentries. One wrong word can open a gate, and one lazy guard can destroy a cohort. Your pay rises above the common soldiers. Men who ignored you now offer wine. The job looks clean until midnight. You inspect walls in rain, checking lamps, towers, locks, and men. You learn every excuse: stomach pain, broken sandal, sick mother, divine warning.
A soldier will blame Jupiter before admitting he slept. One night, you find Cassian asleep at his post. He shared your first barracks room and carried you when fever bent your knees. He also leaves a gate unwatched during an act of alarm. You could kick him awake and say nothing. Instead, you report him, and the centurion orders punishment before the sentry. Cassian stares at you through every strike. He survives, but the friendship does not. That evening, you deliver a fresh password. The tablet weighs almost nothing, yet your hand feels heavy. During leave, your son hides behind Daria's dress because he knows your helmet before your face. He asks when you are staying. You answer after the next campaign. There is always a next campaign. Rank gives you extra pay and less innocence. You now understand Rome's favorite mechanism. Responsibility rises first, comfort follows late, if it follows. The optio starts using you for rosters and drill. He says you have discipline, while Cassian calls it something else. Level 4, the optio. A vacancy appears after an ambush. Rome promotes quickly when someone dies conveniently. You become optio, deputy to the centurion. In battle, he stands at the front. You stand behind the sentry with a staff, keeping the formation closed and stopping frightened men from becoming fast men. You train recruits where you once fell. Their shields drift, their feet cross, and their eyes search for mercy. You hear the old centurion's voice coming from your own mouth. Again, faster, hold the line. The work rewards detail as you manage duty lists, equipment, punishments, training, and absent men. When the centurion's sick, you command. When the men are angry, you remain nearby and unpopular. Your pay grows and your family moves into a better house near the fort. Daria buys painted cups while your son attends lessons. You can finally imagine the vineyard. Then imperial politics reaches the frontier. An emperor dies, another sends coins with his face, and a third commander claims the purple before the old coins leave circulation. Every claimant demands an oath. Every oath calls itself eternal. Your century is ordered south to fight another Roman army. Their standards carry the same eagle. Their wounded curse in familiar Latin. You recognize one officer from a joint exercise years earlier. Your centurion falls during the first clash. For several heartbeats, nobody leads. You step forward and close the gap, pivot the line, and pull the sentry behind a low stone wall. The retreat becomes orderly, order becomes survival, and by sunset, half your unit remains alive. Your commander needs someone the survivors will obey. You receive the vine staff. Daria sees the promotion gift and starts crying. You think she is proud. She is counting how many men died to create your opportunity. Level 5, the centurion. You now command roughly 80 men. Your unit contains veterans, farm boys, craftsmen, debtors, and thieves. The vine staff marks your authority. Your helmet crest turns sideways. Your armor improves, and your pay jumps far beyond a legionary's, though exact figures in your age are a battlefield of their own. Men stand when you enter, merchants remember your preferences, and local officials answer invitations quickly. You can recommend promotion, assign punishment, and decide who takes the dangerous position beside the standard. You also stand in front during battle. This is the bargain. Higher pay, better food, first contact with the enemy. You learn to read ground, weather, morale, and lies. You can hear panic before it becomes movement.
You know when a wall will fail by how the dust falls. Success makes your sentry dependable. Dependability makes headquarters use it constantly. You suppress a mutiny over delayed pay, escort tax silver, and clear raiders from a mountain pass. You spend one spring burying plague victims. Your son, Marcus, is now 14. He wants no army life. He hates the vine staff displayed near your door. To him, it means missed birthdays and Daria waiting at windows. You tell him Rome gave the family everything. He asks what Rome gave you. You have no clean answer. At 40, your body is a map. 2 fingers never close properly, yet younger officers seek your judgment. You once wanted witnesses. Now governors know your name, and so do rivals. Promotion above centurion requires more than courage. It needs seniority, vacancies, patrons, and survival. You collect all 4, one funeral at a time. Level 6, the primus pilus. You are nearly 50 when the first cohort receives you. Primus pilus, first spear, highest centurion in the legion. Only a tiny fraction of soldiers climb this far. Most retire, stall, or enter the earth before the position opens. You command the legion's most prestigious cohort, protect the eagle and sit in councils with the legate, tribunes, and camp prefect. You enjoy that part, while your income and discharge prospects become enormous compared with the recruit who guarded one cracked coin. Equestrian status now stands within reach through wealth, imperial favor, or both. A gold ring can move your family into another social world. The ring also changes the room. Old comrades become careful, junior centurions laugh too quickly, and senatorial officers praise your experience before mispronouncing your birthplace. You have entered the elite through a side door, carrying mud on your sandals. The emperor orders a major offensive across the river. The plan looks elegant on parchment. The river disagrees. Rain swells the crossing, supply wagons sink, and scouts report 2 enemy groups before discovering 5. You advise delay, but the legate fears appearing timid and orders advance. Your first cohort holds the center for 6 hours. You lose the eagle's bearer, 2 centurions, and men you trained as boys. Rome calls the battle a victory. Daria calls it another year without you. Marcus has taken a municipal post far from the frontier. He writes formally, as though addressing an official. Your grandson has your name and no memory of your voice. After 1 year as primus pilus, you expect retirement. Instead, the emperor grants you equestrian standing and another command. The vineyard disappears from your plans without ceremony. You have become too valuable to release and too ambitious to refuse. Level 7. The praefectus castrorum. You become camp prefect, usually the destination of a former primus pilus who refuses to become ordinary again. The fortress is now your weapon. You control stores, workshops, artillery, transport, engineers, animals, tents, tools, and the endless appetite of thousands of men. A legion marches because you counted mules correctly. It starves because one contractor sold damp grain. You inspect walls at sunrise. You test bolts, weigh bread, examine leather, and argue about axle grease. Glory arrives on horseback, while logistics arrives late and wants a receipt. Your power becomes quieter. You make every century possible. Officers seek your approval before requisitioning carts. Governors and emperors ask how long your supplies can support war. The empire is cracking faster now. Plague empties barracks. Currency loses trust. Frontier units demand overdue pay, and rival emperors mint rival faces.
Every warehouse becomes political. You discover missing grain in the records. The theft leads toward a powerful tribune. Reporting him risks powerful enemies. Ignoring him risks hungry soldiers. You report him, but he is recalled, not punished. Daria becomes ill while you prepare a winter campaign. Marcus sends a letter asking you to come. The army needs the roads opened before snow. You stay, and by the time leave arrives, her funeral oil is dried. At home, you find her painted cups. One is chipped, and your wooden chair looks too small. Marcus does not shout because anger would require closeness. He gives you your father's cracked coin. Daria kept it hidden in a cloth pouch. You return to camp carrying the first thing you ever owned and the last thing she saved. Then a courier arrives from the emperor. Several legions need one commander. Level 8, the Ducks. The order calls you Ducks. In your century, this is not yet the neat permanent frontier office later generations will know. It is an emergency command. The emperor combines detachments from several legions, cavalry units, scouts, and auxiliaries, then places them under you because the normal structure is losing the war. You command men whose officers outrank your birth. You carry authority across provincial boundaries. Governors must open granaries, town councils must provide carts, and roads clear when your seal reaches them. You move faster than a legion. You learn to fight with fragments. A cavalry wing arrives without remounts. An infantry detachment speaks little Latin. One unit supports the emperor, another supported his dead rival last month. You build loyalty from pay, food, and visible competence. Your victories become larger, and so do the lists afterward.
You break an invasion near a burned river town. Soldiers begin chanting your name after battle. That sound frightens politicians more than enemy horns. The emperor praises you publicly and divides your army privately. He summons your best cavalry away. Letters arrive asking whether you plan treason. Marcus is detained in the capital for questioning, not imprisoned officially, merely kept where your obedience can visit him. You understand the final rule of Roman power. Success protects the empire and threatens the emperor. Then the Eastern army proclaims another claimant. The current Augustus orders you to march. Before you arrive, his own guards kill him over unpaid rewards. Your soldiers gather outside headquarters. Standards crowd the rain as officers enter your room carrying a purple cloak. You place the cracked coin on the table. You know what they are offering. You also know refusal may be interpreted as preparation. Level 9, the imperator. The troops acclaim you imperator. Once the word marked victorious command, now it can become a death sentence wearing purple. The soldiers raise their swords and demand a speech. You promise order, victory, and the donative they are actually waiting to hear. Their cheer shakes water from the tent ropes. By evening, mints are ordered to prepare your image. By morning, messengers ride toward governors, armies, and the Senate. Each letter says the empire has chosen. A rival already controls Rome. Your first campaign as emperor is against Romans again. You march west with standards you once followed as a common soldier. One legion blocks a mountain road under a commander who served beside you years ago. You send him terms, but he sends back your childhood name. Battle follows, and your army wins because your cavalry finds a narrow track behind his position.
The rival commander is captured before sunset. Mercy could win loyalty, but mercy could also leave a claimant alive. You order death. The sentence takes one breath, but the memory stays. Marcus is released when news of victory reaches the capital. He refuses your invitation to join the court. He writes that Rome has finally made you exactly what you worshipped. You burn the letter, then search the ashes for readable pieces. The Senate recognizes you because your army is approaching. Officials rehearse titles and crowds practice enthusiasm. You enter Rome after spending your life defending it from places Rome rarely remembers. Marble covers everything, while the streets smell of smoke, drains, perfume, and hot bread. People call you savior, while you sleep behind guarded doors. At every earlier rank, danger stood ahead of you. Now it stands behind, beside, and inside your household. You have reached the throne. You have not secured it. Level 10, the Augustus. Your office is a collection of powers wrapped around one vulnerable body. You command armies, appoint governors, issue laws, manage grain, choose heirs, and pretend every crisis arrived alone. Your face appears on coins across the empire. The recruit who saved one cracked bronze piece now manufactures money by being alive. You sit beneath painted victories while reports describe retreat. The Rhine needs troops, the Danube needs troops, the East needs troops, and Africa needs grain escorts. You cannot be everywhere, and therefore, everyone suspects where you are not. Generals need enough power to win and not enough to replace you. Governors need wealth to govern and not enough to rebel. Your family's status turns every relative into a successor, hostage, or corpse. You promote competent men, then read secret reports about their popularity. You reward soldiers with donatives, knowing the next emperor must pay more. You punish corruption through officials who charge fees for delivering the punishment. Your greatest victory reunites rebellious provinces with the empire. The Senate gives you another title. Statues rise, prisoners kneel, and poets discover that you were favored by every god from birth. You remember being knocked into mud. At night, pain returns to your knee. Servants remove the purple cloak, guards search the bedroom, and a food taster samples the figs. Your oldest officers are dead or governing far away. Marcus finally visits, and he is older than you remember Daria becoming. Your grandson stands beside him, wearing an equestrian ring. The boy studies the palace mosaics and addresses you as Augustus, not grandfather. You offer him estates and tutors. Marcus asks for nothing. He only places the cracked bronze coin on your desk. You turn it between two scarred fingers. Your father wanted it to become soil. Daria kept it through every campaign. You carried it past rivers, mutinies, promotions, funerals, and civil war. Now it rests beside gold coins stamped with your own face. You own provinces filled with vineyards. You own no afternoon inside one. Outside, the guard changes watch. A tesserarius carries the knight's password. An optio checks the line. A centurion grips his vine staff. Somewhere, a recruit fails his first turn and falls into mud. The machine continues below you, perfectly familiar and completely beyond control. You began with one coin and one exit plan. Every promotion gave you more access. Every promotion closed another door. You gained pay, command, status, armies, and finally the world. Freedom left the opposite direction. You climbed beyond the way back.